here in response to that and his post. Man, you made some good points on what you saw, or what you think you saw. You live in El Paso, so obviously you see more of the Cowboys than I do here in LA. But man, I disagree with you. Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm not gonna come out here and give you some Kool-Aid shit, or just talk about how the Cowboys are gonna go 6-10-0 and the Eagles are gonna go 16-9 and that crap. Because it's just not smart. I hate stupid people no matter who they root for. When you talk about Parcells, well, what you gotta realize, man, is this guy is a micromanager. He went out there and he just, told everybody what to do, wouldn't let his assistants do their job, wouldn't let players play their style. He tried to put a square peg in a round hole basically and that doesn't work every time. It works sometimes, but not every time. And players like Julius Jones got frustrated with it because it reflected bad on them. People started thinking JJ was a bust, same with Spears, when, they could perform, just not the way Parcells wanted it. And, Parcells was, one of his things was, my system is perfect, because the players can't do it, but the system wasn't perfect. And we saw that in the New Orleans game, along with the second Philly game and all that, where our defense collapsed late last year. When you say the Cowboys are too laid back, I gotta disagree with you, because by laid back, that means that, they don't have Phillips breathing down their neck. That's not what a coach should do, really, because, these guys are veterans. This isn't the Cowboys team of 2000 to 2002. There's no criminals on this team. There's really nobody you should really worry about, not even T.O., because, he's a grown man, over 30, been in the year, 10 plus years. And he's shown no signs of doing in Dallas what, the media says he did in Philly. So, we really don't need a Parcells type dictator anymore for this team. It's a grown team, very mature team. So the guys like Marcus Ware and Dwight Williams who are very mature and just very professional. They don't need to be so strict and stern anymore because these guys are ready. Don't think Phillips is laid back, but his coaching style is very aggressive. So, he might be quiet, but his defense speaks volumes and what he does with defenses. Along with what he does with offenses. He's had some good offenses too, and he's made, he's put together some good teams, and none of them have the talent that this Cowboys team has. And you also mentioned the Eagles. I'm not going to come out here and say the Eagles suck, and McNabb sucks. There's a couple Eagles I would love to have in the Cowboys, namely Brian Dawkins and Brian Westbrook. But they did an amazing thing last year, especially with Garcia. But I think their time's up in the NFC East. I really do, because I think the way I see it as a Cowboys fan and as a football fan, they lost faith in McNabb. They're thinking this guy never got us where we wanted to go. He got us close, but he blew it. He blew that in the last few minutes of the Super Bowl. There's no way around it. And Andy Reid, he's a great coach. He coaches a lot like Phillips. He lets his assistants do their thing. He lets Jim Johnson run that defense. Parcells will not let Jim Johnson run that defense. So, I'm just saying that it's going to be, I think you're wrong. You make good points, but I got to disagree with them about how Phillips is running it and how the Cowboys don't take it seriously. In that game where Romo was talking to Kerry Underwood, he threw 5 touchdowns. So if he wants to do that every game, I have no problem with it. Alright, man, just keep it cool. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.